Vanguard, and then we move on to other papers as we can touch this morning. Our very first story here says political parties can't regulate INEC over Beaver's top officials fumes. Away from that, Oscar 2023 first award goes to Pinocchio for Best Animated Feature. And still on the Vanguard election, Atiku cautions Wike. We're still here. Tinubu moves to form government of national unity, pacify Southeast with Senate presidency. ACF spoke mind of Nigerians on damaging effect of Naira redesign. Tent NAS. Tinubu's support groups root for Betara as speaker. Train crash. Remains of copper buried amid tears in Lagos. And this one also says 8 persons die in U.S. boat mishap. Disobedience to Supreme Court on Naira policy dangerous. ACF warns Buhari. I'm learning Yoruba. Rhodes Vivo replies critics. All right, and leadership tussle. Hulam sack Ondo monarch from palace. Their attempts to assassinate me, LP's Rhodes Vivo. And this one says, education, what we want Tinubu to do. And we'll just take one more while we move to another paper. March 18 polls, APC members dump party for PDP in Akwa Ibom.
All right, moving over to the Premium Times newspapers this morning. Editorial here, the highs and lows of Nigeria's 2023 presidential elections. The highs and lows of Nigeria's 2023 presidential elections.
All right, and we're still on the papers this morning and Premium Times.
Yeah, we'll take some more from here. Nigeria's 2023 presidential elections. Inside the opinion polls that got it wrong, Nigeria's soldiers invade police facility, assault officer. APC now has governorship candidates in Akwa Ibom 10 months after its primary. I'll take some more stories here. Tinubu, Shetima, Adamu to meet APC elected lawmakers Monday. Police speak on how 15 naval ratings invaded their facility to attack sergeant. How police intervene in civil case as court remands 5 siblings within hours. Elections, Kaduna APC Guber candidate pledges to empower women, youths, cash crunch, CPPE calls on Buhari to intervene. Also, police confirm fresh attacks on southern Kaduna. Presidential election, why Tinubu lost northern Nigerian states to Atiku. Some of the headlines from the Premium Times. I'll take a couple more. Police arrest 5 suspected ritualists in Ogun. Company blames insufficient power allocation for unstable electricity supply. Election INT'L announces new resumption date. Oyo governorship poll, Ladoja endorses APC candidate. Also, former Sokoto governor Wamako seeks peaceful polls on Saturday. Some of the stories from the Premium Times.
All right, our first story from The Punch says Beavers reset ends today. INEC promises results transmission. No going back on nationwide protest. This is coming from the Labour Party. DHQ mom as Nigeria drops in global military ranking. Adamu's fate, NAS leadership top agenda as senators-elect meet Tinubu. To the major stories on The Punch, governors gave Malami Emefiele Tuesday ultimatum to obey Supreme Court. Failure to comply will lead to contempt charge Tuesday, Zamfara AG. Rivers, Kogi, Ondo, Ekiti. ACF, Mbaka knock Buhari as CBN faces fresh suit. Old Naira rejection spreads. Report says 20 trillion Naira lost to CBN cash mop-up. Those are writers from the major stories. And moving away from that, anger as gunmen kill 35 in Katsina. Kaduna, sacks lecturer. Senate threatens to stop UI funding. And I think this is the final story from The Punch. My daughter preparing for masters in UK before train crash. Dad.
Over to the Nation newspaper this morning. Emefiele launches fresh plot against President-elect Tinubu. 35 killed in southern Kaduna, Katsina attacks. We'll take some more from the Nation newspaper here. Serap gives federal government 48 hours to withdraw threats to shut down broadcast stations. Mormon empathizes with Nigerians over petrol scarcity in FCT competency. religion should determine leadership of 10th National Assembly. NLC strike in Imo, replica of IPOB sit-at-home order. Our governorship candidate on 5th says Katsina NNPP chair INEC forecloses party's access to its database. It's a story from the Nation you might be interested in. House Speaker El Rufai makes case for Kano rep. House Speaker El Rufai makes case for Kano rep. Okay, also from the Nation this morning, Nan celebrates retiring editor is another story there.
And some headlines from the Daily Post. Kwara PDP decries alleged intimidation, harassment of voters. INEC denies refusing aggrieved political access to election materials. Still on that, Accord inaugurates caretaker committee a few days after dissolving executives in Oyo. And Kaduna killings, Peter Obi urges security agents to take actions. Why will support Makinde Arawa community? Reconfigure your basic values of acceptable society. Peter Obi urges Nigerians. Wike Messiah to restore PDP's lost glory. El Rufai's son Bashir. And we're still on the Daily Post newspaper. This one says suspected Islamist militants kill 19 in another village raid. And Wike, an alcoholic, Atiku's aide. We're still on the Daily Post. This one here says February 25 post, freest fairest since 1999. Arewa youths, Abga condemns gruesome murder of ward councillor in Ebonyi. EEDC introduces accelerated settlement of arrears project. Police arrest 4 restive youths over attacks in Niger. Enugu Guba, PDP planning for war, LP candidate. And Enugu Guba as well, please vote Pitamba. Rejects violence. Nwobodo begs youths.
From the Guardian newspaper, economy sheds 20 trillion naira as policy weakens productivity. SMEs. Tinubu APC leaders meet lawmakers-elect in Aso Rock amid calls for Adamu's resignation. ACF warns Buhari, says don't stoke nationwide unrest with Naira policy. Terrorists kill police. 16 civilians in Zangon Kataf. Atiku's aide knocks Wike for deceiving PDP's governors. INEC not in an unholy alliance. Akwa Ibom Rec replies YPP. Others. Wike MHE resume fight over Igbo votes for Guba candidates. Call to sack me through ballot. Futile mission. Uzodinma replies Labour Party. And lastly, from the Guardian, Roads Fever shows marginalized Lagos residents of better deal.
All right, we go on a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be back with the analysis. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Lọ́dún yìí ó wá gba ògo tuntun, tọ́sẹ̀ méjìlá ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló nílò láti yin Olúwa lórí ilẹ̀ No More War Challenge Ìbàdàn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Ọlọ́run ló pa aláṣẹ fún bàbá àdúrà AK-47 láti ṣílẹ̀kùn ọdún tuntun pẹ̀lú kọ́kọ́rọ́ agbára tó wà nínú èyí. Tọ́sẹ̀ méjìlá la fi máa ṣe é. Ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti January 12 títí wọnú oṣù kẹta March 30 ọdún yìí. Láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù ní gbogbo Thursdays méjèèjìlá lórí ilẹ̀ No More War tó wà ní Challenge ìlú Ìbàdàn. Lára àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí tí ó máa wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Màmá Bọ́lá rẹ̀, Ìlàjà Kétúndé Ọlọ́run ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Bàbá Òjó Adé, Ọlọ́mọ Abúlé, Adùkẹ́ Gold, Bísí Aláwìyé Àlùkò àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ògo tuntun ní Glory la kò rí ẹ̀. Gbogbo ogun tó ti gbàdúrà sí tí ó ṣe ẹ̀yìn ló máa gbẹ́ mi. Ẹ fi yáyà máa bọ̀ lórí ilẹ̀ No More War tó wà Challenge Ìbàdàn kájọ yin Olúwa. Tẹ́ máa ń bọ̀ láti Ìwòrò Olùtẹ́ Ẹ̀dẹ́mọ̀lẹ́tẹ́. Ní kọjá Bridge After Center School ẹ̀ ti rí wa ń bẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ Challenge ilẹ̀ yìí ti ń bọ̀. Ó dojúkọ ìkọjá Genesis díẹ̀ ni o. Ẹ pè 08066581455.
So
So, as you wake up one first check highlight for early momo, you can't remember, say, time for school runs don't reach you. Baller wey sabi be one 4-person hand for there. How you go do your thing? Come still catch up with your game. That na baller wey sabi. How you go do your waka? Come still watch the game full time. Abi, come on, baller. What a goal! Showmax dey your side. Sake of say dem dey summer you with better leagues for any screen, anytime, any day. No matter where you dey. For chicken money wey be 3,200 naira a month. Live from SuperSport on Showmax Pro. Make you sign up for showmax.com.
72 hours with God. God's power is available to work wonders through his anointed servant, Prophet Taiwo Ojo, at the special program, 72 Hours with God, with the theme, Grace. Come with your friends and family and get ready to experience God like never before. We shall be gathering together from Friday 24th to Sunday 26th of March 2023. Time, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. While vigil will be coming up from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. at Mercy Camp, Kilometer 18 Ibadan Expressway, Osengiri, Ibadan. Music ministrations by Evangelist Elijah Akintude Olorun Sobe, Evangelist Dare Melody, Lady Evangelist Adeyinka Alashiyori, Big Bolaji, Benga Denuga, Bridget Adenubi Esther, Atinuke Adefisoeri Majemo, and many others. Ministering Prophet Taiwo Ojo, host, and other anointed men of God. You can watch us live on Facebook at Prophet Taiwo Ojo Live. 72 hours with God. Come, enjoy grace for the race.
Babe, how we want to pay for baking course? With small money where person they make.
Course? No be to sabi bake like pro. No worry, I get plan.
You get plan.
I get super binge plan.
For whatever you want to learn on YouTube, you need a plan like the INT'L Super Binge Plan. Simply dial *141*514# now to enjoy 2 GB of data and 1 hour worth of free YouTube data every
Phone Network.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
With us, 32 FM 94.9, the Break It Down Paper Review. I'm Kenny Dorotilu.
And DENIKE, Adimoagro.
All right, we'll bring you some of the details to the stories that we shared with you earlier. This one here from the Punch newspaper says, governors give Malami Emefiele a Tuesday ultimatum to obey Supreme Court. Now, we hear that state governments, which sued the federal government on the Naira redesign policy, have given the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN, and the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele till Tuesday to comply with the order of the Supreme Court on the currency. The state governments threatened to file contempt charges against the 2 top officials on Tuesday should they fail to obey the Apex Court, which ordered that the old 1,500 and 200 Naira notes should be in circulation alongside the new notes till December 31st, 2023.
All right, this one from the Daily Post says the Obi Dati Presidential Campaign Council on Sunday reiterated that its supporters won't back down on their planned nationwide demonstration unless the Independent National Electoral Commission grants LP's lawyers access to materials from the contentious February 25 presidential elections. And away from that, this one says that no fewer than 18 people were feared killed on Saturday evening in Kankara local government area of Katsina State when terrorists clashed with local security guards. And this is just as the death toll of Saturday night attack on Ungwam Wakili community in Zanko Kataf local government area of Kaduna State rose to 17. Quite a sad one there.
Yeah, quite tragic. Elsewhere from the Punch, Beavers reset ends today. INEC promises results transmission. That's according to that report from the Punch. The ongoing reconfiguration of the bimodal voter accreditation system machines used during the presidential and National Assembly elections on the 25th February will end on Monday. That's today. That's according to Punch. The Independent National Electoral Commission had postponed the governorship and state houses of assembly elections scheduled to hold on March 11 to March 18 in order to be able to reconfigure the Beavers. I'll take another story from the Punch newspaper. Robbers storm Ibadan community with POS machine Now, according to this report, armed robbery suspects on Saturday invaded the Election area, Olomo community in Akpete, Ido local government area of Oyo State, and operated freely. The suspects, said to have stormed the area at about 1 a.m., were said to be armed with a point-of-sale machine, which they allegedly used to transfer money from the bank accounts of the victims. It's quite a lengthy story. You might want to take a look at the Punch newspaper for more details on that particular one.
All right, Austin Dubu joins us this morning on the show. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, Denike.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do we want to start from the story that Kenny just took about armed robbers storming a part of Ibado and operating freely with point-of-sale machines?
Yes, it was a sad one. People are beginning to be more aware that there is no cash almost anywhere, and getting cash is becoming very difficult. Now they have to resort to a point of sale, a situation where they get access to your card and will make you to make transfer under duress. It's quite sad, like I said, that has to happen, because one of the areas where the effort of government in the idea of a cashless tried to achieve at some point was the fact that some of these vices will reduce to the barest minimum. Apart from this latest in Akwete, I think about 2 weeks ago or thereafter, robbers also stormed a particular location. They had to make the couple to start making transfers under duress. You know, there is no limit to what you can transfer. There's only a limit to what you can withdraw in terms of physical cash. So we still have to do more, because if robbers are to devise this means, what of those who do not have card? Does it mean that their life will probably be in danger or what have you? Because they know that if you can't get cash, definitely you are going to have your card at home. And once you have your card, now they are not going for ATM whatever, or going to make withdrawal. You know, before, what they do is to take away your card, and at the end of the day make withdrawals with them, and they can also be caught in the process. But this time around, they will just do ATM point of sale transfers, and most of the time the narration is always very difficult to be able to track. That is why when they do even card swap at ATM terminal, what they do most of the time is to make use of point of sale to be able to make this transfer, because most of the time it looks so illicit in terms of no proper narration of where the money is actually going to. So I think we can also do more. In the days ahead, we should see an improvement in the financial system, especially the payment platform of the POS, wherein proper narration could be taken from it, and at the end of the day, you know where such fund gets to. Because if that is done, to track such fund becomes very easy.
Aside from the proper narration of the POS and the financial status currently, what about the Amotekun? Before now, I mean, I've seen they've patrolled, and I've seen some situations where they have been able to come to the rescue of some people or some situations. What do you think is going on now? Do they still do that? Do they still patrol? Do they still are they still coming to the aid of people, really?
Of course, they are still there. They are still coming to the aid of people. You know, this is when robbers like this gain access. The occupant of the house or the premises find it very difficult to reach out. You understand? Because they must have taken over the premises, right. And at the end of the day, make it very difficult for them to make use of their mobile phone. And don't also forget, in situations like this, they will have even gone before alarm could be raised or what have you. And on the issue of Amoteku too, government cannot do everything. Amoteku too, most of the time when they are on ground or they visibly patrol an area, it is because of mobilization. I think we have to say this. You understand? It is because of mobilization. And they cannot also be everywhere. Some of these areas where they patrol, for example, in my area before now, Amoteku comes almost regularly. Now they are not coming. And we know the reason why they are not coming. I don't know whether you are getting that. No. You understand? So they also need to be mobilized to continue to come. Because when these robbers too, they will also have noticed that these people are no longer coming. Because when they were coming to my area, they operated so professionally. You understand? They still blow their siren, but there's a way they come down, they lay ambush, they monitor the environment. So these are bad people too. They are also aware that this is the area where they monitor properly. And when they see that such area is not within spotlight again, they do their own visibility study, and at the end of the day, they will strike at any point in time.
What's to blame? What do we blame for this upsurge in robbery cases in the city of Ibadan? Is it the cash crunch? Is it inflation? What would you say is at fault for all of these cases that we're seeing?
Yes, the worrying economic situation is a combination of a whole number of factors. Like some of them you have just mentioned, the cash crunch. There are some people who have one or two things they do before to make ends meet. Now they can't even do it. Some are out of joy. Some are out of job. Some people, they can't even make ends meet. So they take to robbery and what have you. And they also know that there's no cash anywhere. They also be able to do all of these things to be able to get money. So it's a whole number of factors. The government really need to work on the economy, create an enabling environment where people can make ends meet. And don't forget too, people have to survive, especially human beings. They will just have to survive somehow. It is not everybody that can endure untold economic hardship like some Nigerians are already used to. Some people, any small prayer, they will want to make use of what they have. Don't also forget, some of these bad boys did not also become bad boys overnight. It has always been there. Maybe some of them, one thing or the other has made them to stop it. And when they see that they can also find fortune by ensuring that they get money from it, they will go back to it. So government need to work on the economy and ensure that our teeming youth are properly and gainfully employed.
Well, certainly not absolving them of that heinous act, certainly. But let's move on to some other stories now. Over 1 week since the Supreme Court ordered the old notes remain legal tender till December 31st, the AGF and the CBN have yet to respond to that particular order. Now, the state governors who took them to court have threatened to file contempt charges against them. That's according to a number of reports we have from the newspapers this morning. I'm sure you've seen that one, Austin, this morning.
Yes, I saw it. There's no point threatening them anymore. What should be done is just go to the court and file the contempt charge against them. Then the question now is, even if the charges case through and Supreme Court gives another round of judgment, would they still obey? You understand? It becoming so aberrant, a situation where we find ourselves. Who is Emefiele? Who is Attorney General of the Federation? Who is Malami? You understand? They are getting away with some of this disobedience to court judgment because their principal is notorious for disobedience to court order, court judgment, court orders. You understand? So that's the reason why they are doing what they are doing, because their principal support them by way of his body language. We suffice to say that if Buhari, the president, for example, does not want them to do contrary, there's no way they could be doing that. Honestly, they are making the situation look like these individuals are untouchable. Nothing can happen to them. Whatever they do, they get away with it, and they've got it to a level where they have to rubbish the Supreme Court of the land. So where do we go from here? So it is not just about content charges. The governor should go ahead. They should not boast on the pages of newspaper anymore. Now, if at the end of the day, the content proceedings charge against them survives, how do we rein them in? How do we make sure that they obey the law? It's just like when you see somebody dancing, the person must have been hearing the sound of drum from elsewhere that is not visible to all. So the point I'm making really is that it is the president that has given this individual, Attorney General of the Federation and the CBN governor, that guts to be able to look Nigerians in the face and disregard them, tell Nigerians to go to hell, rubbish the Supreme Court judgment. So it is not done anywhere, but that can only happen in Nigeria because the president is providing technical support for them by way of his body language. The president has refused to speak. The Attorney General of the Federation has refused to speak. The CBN governor has refused to speak. And that is worsening the situation. At some point, we even said that it is not compulsory that the president had to speak. But the earlier statement of the president, I think, is still maintaining it. That, it's only 200 naira the old 200 naira that remain legal tender, and the situation is worsening. So the government still have to look at this issue. How can you have a situation where Supreme Court will give judgment and they will rationalize the judgment of the Supreme Court? Once it favors them, they will hurriedly implement it. If it does not favor them, they will water it down as if no judgment has come at all. I think it's unfortunate that we find ourselves in this type of situation.
All right, so yesterday, a video emerged on the internet of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State at a church vicinity in Lagos, shaking hands with church attendees who were stepping out of the church and etc. Now, social media had a lot of reactions, like the governor might now be leaning towards desperation, how he's acting humble, and how all his gestures are being hypocritical. What do you make of this?
Yeah, that is Nigerian politician for you. They do some of these things when elections are close. If not for the postponement, by that yesterday would have been analysis of how the election result or what have you. It's common among Nigerian politicians. It is when they are seeking office, you see them eating amala by the roadside, buying boli, associated with the people, climbing Okada, and what have you. So the governor, we saw him. There's nothing wrong in shaking hands with church members. There's absolutely nothing wrong. The reason why it is coming very strong on the social media is that a lot of people feel that why now? Has the governor been doing that? Was yesterday his first time in that particular church? Has he actually associated with the quote and unquote the common people in the church, the one you refer to as ordinary people? Now the governor had to break his own protocol by ensuring that he shakes hands with people. And I also saw a post, somebody asked that after losing the election, sarcastically though, that would the governor still be shaking people after losing his re-election bid or what have you. So this is what politicians do. I think the populists too, the electorate, should be a step higher by ensuring that all these politicians that camouflage, especially during the period of election, be dealt with through the ballot process. It's not Jide Sanwo-Olu alone. We have all of them across the country. They begin to do things. You know, over last week too, we also saw governors that donated equipment to security outfit. And we were of the opinion that why now? Why at the dying minute? You understand? If there are services that you need to provide for the people, that is the legitimate right of the people. It shouldn't be tied to election, or maybe you want vote from the people and you begin to do that. So this cut across, it's not just about individual. So let's begin to watch by keeping our fingers crossed, whether Babajide Sanwo-Olu, whether he gets re-elected or not, whether he will still be this humble by ensuring that after every service he comes out, he defies his own convoy or his own security protocol by shaking hands with people. All of these things, they are no big deal. It happened elsewhere in the world. It's no big deal at all, where you see a prime minister carrying his own bag, his own briefcase by himself, no security, nothing. But when it happens in Nigeria, it becomes like a miracle, it becomes like a big deal.
All right, we have to go on a commercial right now. When we come back, Austin, we're taking your reaction to the killings in southern Kaduna. I understand that certain parts of Katsina were also affected in that one. To stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
It's time to enjoy fast and reliable internet connection for less.
It's time to go big in the INT'L Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer.
It's time to take advantage in the INT'L Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer. Get a MiFi with up to 125 gigabyte bonus data for just 5,000 naira, or a router with up to 240 gigabyte bonus data for just 10,000 naira. Visit any INT'L shop or www.airtel.com.ng/HBB now.
INT'L, the smartphone network.
72 hours with God. God's power is available to work wonders through his anointed servant, Prophet Taiwo, at the special program, 72 Hours with God, with the theme, Grace. Come with your friends and family and get ready to experience God like never before. We shall be gathering together from Friday 24th to Sunday 26th of March 2023. Time, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. While Vigil will be coming up from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. at Mercy Camp, Kilometer 18 Ibadan Express Expressway, Osengere Ibadan. Music ministrations by evangelist Elijah Akintude Olorun Sobe, evangelist Dare Melody, Lady Evangelist Adeyinka Lashiyori, Big Bolaji, Benga Denuga, Bridget Adenubi Esther, Atinuke Adefisoeri Majemo, and many others. Ministering Prophet Taiwo Ojo, host, and other anointed men of God. You can watch us live on Facebook at Prophet Taiwo Ojo Live. 72 hours with God. Come, enjoy grace for the race.
So, as you wake up one first check highlight for early momo, you can't remember, say, time for school runs don't reach you. Baller we sabi be 1-4% hand for there. How you go do your thing? Come still catch up with your game. That na baller we sabi. How you go do your waka? Come still watch the game full time. Abi, come on, baller. Showmax dey your side. Sake of say dem dey summer you with better leagues for any screen, anytime, any day. No matter where you dey. For chicken money will be 3,200 naira a month. Live from Supersport on Showmax Pro. Make you sign up for showmax.com.
Make you say bye-bye to slow browsing speed and yama battery when you buy the INT'L A60 smartphone. E get high-speed 4G network wey go let you enjoy fast internet, 5,000 mAh big battery for long hours of enjoyment, and 32GB of memory. Make you just enjoy the use am dey go. For just 1,000 naira, you go get 1.5GB and 3.5GB free data from Airtel when you buy the INT'L A60 and activate them with Airtel 4G SIM card. Make you SMS get to 141 to enjoy this package. INT'L. Enjoy better life.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, to take your reactions this morning, you can call us on 0705 500949 and 0809 700949. Now, I want to talk about the Southern Kaduna killings.
Right. Austin, we hear that no fewer than 35 persons have been killed in Southern Kaduna, in the Southern Kaduna area of Kaduna and Katsina states. Now, apparently, it's also a communal clash that escalated the Zagon Kataf area.
Now that particular area has been troubled over time.
Yeah, it's become the order of the day.
It's a separate but almost simultaneous attack in the two states. I think the government in those areas will have to step in. For communal clashes, it's a coloration of ethnic and tribal sentiment and a little bit of religious sentiment too that has brought about all of this crisis. So the government in those two states should deploy the method that was used to achieve peace in Mabila area in Taraba State. So the government must take that very seriously, provide leadership, and ensure that no preference.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Miriam. I'm calling from Modejai.
All right.
If you can remember vividly, the president once said that the worst days of insecurity is over. So how best can we describe the attack from government that seems almost 30 lives in Kaduna, Katsina? It's a pity that we even have the president, who happens to be a retired major general, and still security in our dear country has worsened greatly. I think this is a monumental failure on the part of the president. That's my opinion.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yes, still on that situation, police vow to arrest culprits connected to Southern Kaduna killings. Now, like you said, it's become the order of the day. It almost even doesn't make news anymore. Yeah. And so far, no one seems to have been brought to book. No arrest seems to have been made. But this is what they keep saying. We will make sure that the culprits are caught.
Yeah, it's not just about statements. They should go beyond issuing statements and condolences to be able to nip the attack in the bud, and at the end of the day, arrest perpetrator. What people want to see to be done in situations like this is justice. No effort of government can bring back anyone that is dead. Then on the issue of somebody referring to President Muhammadu Buhari as a retired general, event has overtaken that. We are counting down to the expiration of the president term. The president has failed woefully in the area of security and economy.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is when you was going from one church to another campaigning, it's not a crime. When Luna begins to shake hands, people are now crying wolves on social media. It's very unfortunate the way we think in Nigeria. he should teach this position a good lesson. Someone who has not been taking hands in the church. Maybe has not been going to church. When he was in Anambra, it's only Catholic that benefits for him. He's not going all these churches. God will save us from these bad leaders. Have a nice time.
All right. 0705 500949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, John and Jacob. Is me?
All right. Good morning, sir. Yeah.
See, to be for one is to be for. Let me say this one and tell Nigeria that Buhari is in order by disobeying court order. He did that with the consent of the judiciary. He told the judges and the lawyers that the same rule of law shall be subject to the supremacy of the national security and national interest. They all clap their hands for him. I will not blame him for disobeying court order. It is too late to accuse the president of disobeying court order. It is ridiculous and of compromising nature as told in Nigeria. People go to the type of government that is decided. John, who's on Joko and my name. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We have some reactions on Facebook, but you can still join us. We're live on Facebook at facebook.com/32FM949 Ibadan.
The numbers again 070550949. Hello, good morning.
Please turn down the volume on your radio.
Good morning, DENIKE. Everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, you're calling from Challenge.
Right.
I think I would like to take two issues, especially the issue of the killings in Southern Kaduna. I think the onus lies on whoever becomes the next president, irrespective of whatever the outcome is to tribunal is, to ensure that Nigeria goes into full federalism. Some communal clashes has to do with the fact that the federal police can no longer take care of the situations in their enclave. So it's policing at the local level who could identify and solve this problem immediately. And in terms of President Sanwo-Olu going to churches, I think it's too late. Whatever the outcome, the people will decide and make their mind up. It's just so sad that this election that would have been the best election in Nigeria, even though still okay, has been colorized by ethnicity, has been colorized by religion, by the major contenders. And we hope that Nigeria will get out of this and vote for people, not because of their religion, not because of their ethnic. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 0705 500949 and 0809 7,949. Some reactions on our Facebook page.
All right, so this one, Tolu Lokbe at DM, says, it's good to know that INEC has promised results transmission as Beaver's reconfiguration ends today because all the brouhaha that follows the presidential election was caused by the body itself, especially. But not walking their talk is, okay, in result transmission, which has been the bone of contention. But I hope they walk their talk this time around. So that the outcome of the election can reflect the people's choice. Thank you very much for that one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. All right, Boluwatife Ademijuwon. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. On the ultimatum given to the CBN, I think the truth is that the Malami, the CBN governor, and the INEC chairman, they can't do anything without the president's approval. So the state governor should be given the Mr. President the Tuesday as ultimatum to make the ordinary Muslim illegal tender, not the governor of CBN, that is directly answerable to the Mr. President. And the CBN governor will act on the directive of the Nigeria, not the state governors. Maybe if they can change the dimension, they can expect the positive result in that aspect. That's my take this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Over to Facebook again. This one from Omar Dia Dikunle says, it's so pathetic that the CBN governor and Mr. President are too insensitive to the plight of the masses as regards the Naira scarcity. I lost that one. I'll get that in a moment. People are suffering and dying on a daily basis with this Naira crisis. Either Mr. President and the CBN governor should please address us whether they concur with the court order or not, because their muteness has caused the citizens to be in a state of confusion. What a disappointing government. All right.
Boluwatife Ademiju on Facebook says, good morning, Kenny and DENIKE. INEC postponed gubernatorial elections without considering those that will be greatly affected. Talking of students, those earning their daily bread in campuses and so on. Anyways, I hope at the end of the extension, they would have been able to correct all issues associated with beavers, because we need credible elections that will reflect popular demands this time round. All right, more calls on the show this morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. We can hear you. What's your name?
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Okay, 070-55,949, 080-97,949.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello,
good morning. We can hear you.
Please, I'm not doing from Ibadan.
Okay.
I said it's not enough for INEC to keep on making promises for Nigerians. They should do what is expected of them to do, because at the end of the day, some of these promises might not even see the light of the day. Let's not forget that INEC had more than a year to prepare for this election. Yes, they have been failing miserably. If they are giving us real-time transmission, all the insinuations that the elections were being tampered with or rigged would have been averted. So before 18th of this month, March, they should ensure that those concerns that were raised by electorate should be addressed. If not, postponing the election would have been a wide goose chase. That was my take. Good morning.
All right, good morning.
All right, thank you very much.
We're almost out of time. Austin, let's have your final thoughts and submissions before
I
we...
think people are beginning to miss it again. INEC postponed the election to be able to reconfigure the Beavers machine. So I don't know what that means anyway. But the reason why INEC postponed this election was to be able to reconfigure the Beavers machine, because some people wanted it for inspection and they needed the same machine to conduct election, and for that reason they had to configure, because they ran out of time before court gave order. They had to seek extension to reconfigure the Beavers machine. So the purpose of the postponement must be well known. God bless Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Austin Ijobu. I am DENIKE Adimuago.
I'm Kenny Drew. Good morning.